episode 20 of the Geek Perspective. I am your host, Roy. On today's show, we have some news of a famous celebrity passing away. Tom went to a couple conventions, and we're going to discuss those. Plus, we have some movie and TV news, so stay tuned for all the fun, exciting stuff. And to anyone who's out there listening, and no one's listening yet, but when they do, if you pop in and we sound like crap, let us know. We have some audio issues yet again. We are audio issue people. We should do a podcast on audio issues. We'll be professionals by the time you know it. So,
there's an echo.
Just an echo?
Yeah.
Can you hear Tom?
I haven't said anything yet.
Oh, I never said anything.
Well,
Do you want me to text you?
yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
I didn't hear what she said.
She has an echo.
Oh, okay.
So apparently we're on the show. That's freaking awesome.
Yeah, so we've been every week we have audio issues, and I don't know what the problem is. I can hear an echo. Driving me nuts.
You hear an echo? I hear nothing. Yeah. I hear absolutely nothing. But anyway, let's get on with the show. We apologize for the echo, and we'll work on this issue, and hopefully next week we may have it solved. But anyway, so back to the show, and Tom told me about this yesterday. Peter Fonda passed away.
Yeah, man. Sad. It's really sad. Can you hear me still?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah, he had a long fight with lung cancer, and it was complications due to that, and sad. I mean, Peter Fonda, I'm a big fan because it was a different time in Hollywood then. That's when and I don't want this to get misconstrued or anything, but it's like he was sort of like a man's man back then, and I don't mean that in a I don't mean that in like a toxic masculinity type of way. It was just they held themselves different, and I mean his movies were great. I mean, God, think about why am I drawing a blank on the name of that?
Easy Rider.
Thank you, God. Think about Easy Rider, a classic. It's still one of my favorite movies. I still probably watch it 4 times a year. Every 3 months.
That much, huh?
Oh, I love it. It just, I mean, all those guys when they were young, like I said, it was like Hollywood was different. It was,
50 years ago.
Yeah.
50 years ago.
Exactly, man. It's, it's sad, I mean, it's sad when anybody dies, and then it's such an icon, and, lung cancer and all that stuff is such a terrible, terrible way to go. So, yeah.
Cancer sucks.
Yeah, my thoughts with his family and everything. Sad day when
definitely
Peter Fonda died.
But yeah, that Easy Rider movie was 50 years ago on July 14th.
Yes. Crazy.
Craziness. So, and you bought some pops recently, didn't you?
I did, and I was gonna bring them over, and I just spaced it. Yes, I got what I picked up Scarface, Tony Montana.
That's awesome.
I love it. Love that pop. I got Travis Bickle from Taxi Driver. Love it.
Very cool.
Yeah, really cool pop. I'm trying to think. Oh, I got the Freddie Funko as Chucky from Child's Play. I got the non-bloody one, but now I got a bloody one coming. I got one really cheap online, so I couldn't pass up the deal. So I got both of those, and let me think. So it was Travis. Oh, and then I got Will Graham from Hannibal, one of my favorite shows. It's Will Graham. He's got the Hannibal mask on. And the last one I'll mention until we get more into the discussion, I finally picked up that 2-pack of the Kang and Kodos from The Simpsons, the 2 aliens. Great plot. I'm not a huge fan of 2-packs and 3-pack pops. I have a few. Like I have the Freddy Jason one because I'm a horror nut. Not a huge fan, but this pop is sick and the glow is sick on it. I love The Simpsons. It's so far I think probably my favorite pop of 2019 right now, and I got that on super low over at Fan Expo Boston.
Oh,
And then I got a few other things too, and we'll talk more as we go on. But that's what I got. How about you? You picked up any? No,
I picked up no pops there.
That's crazy. Just because I think I've mentioned it before, but every time I come over for his pop collection grows, which not that odd, obviously, but it grows exponentially. It's usually not one or two. It's usually like holy shit, he's got a whole new display. You know, and I love Roy's displays. I've kind of stolen some of his ideas and stuff for his displays because I just like how he display. I mean, Roy got me to take some out of the box. Never done that unless the box was destroyed. You know, granted, I keep the boxes. I put them back in protectors and stuff like that, and put them away. But yeah, Roy's got a great setup for his pops. So yeah, I'm surprised you haven't picked up it
sometime and show it during the show.
Yeah, I definitely will. I'm working on my setup right now. I'm trying to get the glow in the dark section good right now. I got those the strips, and they work great. But it's tricky, you know. They're super tricky, and I don't want to be. You can cut them, which is great, but then you cut them, you need other adapters. You know what I mean? So what do you think about it? Anytime you cut it now, okay, now it's separate. So now and I don't want to spend $100 on just an adapter. So, yeah, so once I get that set up, I'll definitely bring in some pictures. And then I got my closet set up. I've been getting some stuff from Display Geek to organize in my closet. So it's actually looking really cool. So once it's all done, I will definitely bring it. Well, we're gonna do a whole episode sometime in the future just dedicated to Funko Pops. So we'll get to it.
Definitely we'll get to it. So have you watched any good shows, movies, or anything?
Let's see. Well, Preacher's back.
Yep.
You been watching?
Yes, I have.
Yeah. I like it. It is 100% straying now from the source material, which is fine by me. I don't have a problem. I think it's better most times, like Walking Dead and stuff like that. Game of Thrones. You know, yeah, sometimes you want to see it pretty much 100% true, but not always. Yeah, I've been watching Preacher. The new episode, new season of Snowfall. I think they're on episode 6. You watch Snowfall?
No, I don't know about that show. Actually.
It's on FX, and it's a great show. It's kind of like a period piece, but the period is the 1980s, and it's all about the crack epidemic and how it started and everything like that. And it's
what's up, Chris?
Hey, Chris, what's up? Sorry about the sound issues, but we're trying to.
If you know a sound guy, let us know, will you?
Yeah, we're trying to fix them, but
we need a sound guy. Anyone know a sound guy?
Yes.
Actually, I think I might actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a buddy of mine's a musician.
Oh.
And he's coming over Wednesday.
Oh, nice.
So I may talk to him.
Yeah, dude.
And he's the one that does review The Fly.
Oh, Raymond Luxury wants us to review Hannibal, which
Ray Luxury, whoever you are.
I want to too. We got to get Roy and then
watch the damn show.
Eric on to watch it because it's one of my favorites. It's one of my favorites. But yeah, Snowfall. What's up, Chris? So. Yeah, it's about the crack epidemic in the 80s, how it started. Great show on FX. Wednesday night, I don't know, 9 or 10, but you have the stick now, so, you know, you can watch it at any point. So, yeah, I watched that. I started, now to get onto more pertinent or into our geeky stuff, I actually started watching the first episode of Pennyworth. So far, so good.
I'm gonna check it out again.
Yeah, tonight I was thinking once I get home, I might try to watch because they're dropping 2 episodes each week, like whatever day. I don't know if it's a Sunday or a Monday or whatever it is. But yeah, because there's 4 episodes out right now, so I wanna watch that. And
so did you get you finished Swamp Thing?
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I'm bummed that it ended.
Right.
You know, I mean, if it wasn't, I would have been totally okay if it wasn't. You know what I mean?
Almost definitely.
I think it's a great show, and hopefully we'll review it in the future. You know what I mean? We'll get Derek to watch it too.
We should do an episode by episode review.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
I mean, because each episode, I mean, there's a lot to pack in there. So yeah, that would be a good idea. Yeah, we should schedule that sometime. Get Derek in on it. And
you guys want us to review Swamp Thing? Huh? It's a really good show.
Yeah, it's
really is a good show.
Great show. It's
funny. I love the season.
Mhm.
And when it slowly started coming to an end, it was kind of like, oh man, this is ending.
Yeah.
It was kind of a letdown.
Yeah.
But I didn't love the last episode.
No.
Which is kind of weird. And the reason why I probably didn't love it is because it was kind of rushed.
Yes.
You know,
Mhm.
they knew they were ending.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for the cast who put their heart and soul in the show, who were really pissed off that it ended.
Yeah.
You know, they left with this last episode, which it wasn't a horrible episode by any stretch of the imagination.
It's just disappointing.
But because the show was so good, you'll I think it's lost something in the last episode.
Yeah, I agree. You watching anything else?
No.
No.
Really
Yeah, TV's not as good during the, well, everybody's out. I've been on vacation this week, so I really haven't been.
Stuff going on.
Yeah, it's always tough in the summer. Although I told you about that on Netflix, that In the Dark, great show you should check out on Netflix. Everybody, In the Dark, CW show. It's on Netflix right now, the first season. Very good. It was, it's still it. I believe it's coming back for season 2. It was on the CW. It was produced by Brent Stiller, great show. Great show. Nobody super famous in it, but people you'd recognize, and just really well done. A really, really well done show. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for that little synopsis, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And guys, if you like this video, hit the like button, ring the little bell, stay informed to all our content. Subscribe and share our video. Make sure to comment below the video and let us know what you think, what you want us to review, what we can review, what you want to see us review. If you want to talk to us, let us know. We want to hear from you. We really do, actually.
Yes, we do.
I guess I know there's only 2 of us today. Sir Derek is at some Pokemon.
I guess he's doing this raid again.
Rave. He's doing something. So he's not here today. So no anime today. So if you guys looking for anime,
SOL.
Tom's happy about it.
No, I mean I like his segments because I learn stuff about anime. I don't know anything. I learn everything I know about anime comes from Derek. So
Rich sounds in saying I sound funny. Yeah, we know, Rich. We have an echo. We can't get rid of the damn thing. So if you know
a sound guy,
let us know. We're at our wit's end. We shouldn't be having these issues
every week.
It's the same issue too.
Yes,
we cannot solve it.
And we come down quite a bit early to set up. We give us an hour plus to set up. And really, I mean, setup should be turn on the computer, plug in your headphones.
We're not taking apart things.
I mean, if we come down an hour early, we should honestly be sitting for 50 minutes doing nothing.
We used to be.
Yeah.
Something happened.
And then it just, there's an issue each week.
I don't understand it. But anyway, let's get into some news. So, I'm sure you guys have heard that Crisis on Infinite Earths is coming. And new news is coming out. And this apparently is going to impact all of Season 6. Imagine that?
Wow.
Yeah, the whole season of Flash is going to affect it. And it's going to be a Season 1 thing. And even like pre-Crisis is going to be dealing with Crisis in some extent.
Really?
Yeah, and I guess they're introducing a new bad guy, Bloodworm.
Okay.
And they don't know how he affects everything, but he might have something to do with the crisis. I'm not sure. But he's a new big bad guy on the show, and I guess a little few spoilers from season 5. So if you haven't seen season 5, stay alive now. So Nora, we all know, passed away. She died. Thawne escaped. Cisco took the many-human drug, remember that? And he's here, which led to everyone saying he was leaving. We actually even reported here that we had heard that he was leaving.
He's not.
He's not.
Yeah.
And then we have the Crisis on Infinite Earths coming, and the Flash is supposed to be the main figure in the event. Which, if you read the comic books, you can pretty much have guessed that. And there's going to be some huge ramifications coming out of this. The Flash and all the other superhero shows are going to have this could be the biggest seasons.
Right.
Yet.
Cool.
They're saying that when everything settles from this whole crisis, that a lot of things could change. Now, we were assuming that it was just going to be, Arrow ending, him dying maybe, blah, 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 because that show's ending.
Yeah.
But it sounds like there may be more stuff going on. I'm trying to figure out what else could be happening. Geez, who could be affected? There are rumors that there could be another Superman show coming out.
Another Superman show.
Possibly. And there's just rumors. So, could that come from this? There are rumors that this show could spawn, if the Crisis could spawn a Green Arrow. I mean, not a Green Arrow. A Green Lantern.
I was hoping you were going to say Green Lantern.
Yeah, they're saying that. And they're saying, people requested to have Diggle be the Green Lantern, because when the crisis happens, everything's in flux.
Yeah.
So it would be cool, because he's a really good actor.
Yeah, no, I like him a lot. So.
When he first showed that show first time, I was like, he ain't going to last.
No, it's funny you say it, and like I'm not all the way up to date on it, but I thought the same thing on that.
You don't watch good stuff, I forgot.
Yeah, I'm not a big Flash. I mean, I like not really into the Flash. Green Arrow, I'm at almost season 5 at this point now. It's one of those ones I was trying to catch up to you guys, and I will eventually, probably when it's over.
Yeah, Rich, he tried to watch the Flash. It wasn't his thing either. It wasn't what he liked.
Raymond says, check out One Punch Man. I know that's in the anime.
Yes.
I know that's
supposed to be really good.
Yeah,
that's one area that's supposed to be really good. So, now we're going to go on a little rant. Oh, we have a question.
Mm-hmm. They are thinking of doing who's thinking of doing a show, Chris? Or because it says question show, so I'm a little confused, but
yeah, thinking of doing a
question show. Oh wait, I'm sure he'll type when
you just type it when you're ready.
Whenever you're ready. No rush.
So we're gonna jump into the CW.
Oh, okay. Is he talking about Superman? What character are we talking about right now?
Superman. I'm guessing Chris is thinking Superman.
We jumped like 5 characters.
If I'm wrong, let me know, Chris. But I'm thinking you're thinking Superman.
Yeah, I was.
Because
that's my guess.
We've been talking about that with like who they would get to play. If they the same guy from Supergirl, blah blah blah.
Oh, okay.
We've been talking about how that would all work.
That'd be cool.
But I want to into the Hunt.
Go for it.
I'm a horror movie. Oh, thank you, Tom. Tom says, go for it. I'm a HR guy. I like those kind of things. And so the question is going to be the show.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, it could be interesting.
Who's the question? Or what's the question? I'm not.
The question. That's the question. It's a chat. What do they have in the chat? DC.
I'm lost, so I'll let you guys talk because I'm very confused. Watchmen.
The Watchmen show. That's been talked about for forever. That's supposed to be happening.
Yeah, that's supposed to be. I look forward to that. I really look forward to that.
I still haven't seen the movie.
Oh, dude, I
still have not.
It's such a great movie.
It's so long. I'm like, I gotta watch it. And it's like,
it's great.
Gonna watch it, and I just haven't done it.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
But back to the Hunt. It's, and I'm sure you've all heard about it by now. It's a Universal Studios controversial canceled movie, and it's about well, first we say it's a movie that got canceled after the mass shootings in El Paso, Texas, and Dayton, Ohio. And God love everybody there.
Yeah,
okay. It's these shootings have to stop. It's ridiculous.
That's white terrorists. Yeah. White terrorists. Not mentally ill. They are fucking terrorists. Going after brown people. Yeah, Jesus Christ. Oh, they're mentally ill. Oh, video games. My fucking ass. Yeah, they're fucking racist shits. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm just so sick of it. They're blaming mental illness and fucking video games. If you're white, but if you're black, brown, or any other color, you're either a terrorist, a gangbanger, or something else. The hypocrisy is disgusting. Donald Trump's a fuck. Sorry.
Yep. So
yeah,
it's a movie that they canceled because of the shootings, and you're thinking, "Oh, that's cool." But wait, there were problems well before this ever happened. So don't be like, "Oh, that's cool." Then no. Basically, let's talk about the movie real quick. Let's go over what it's about. Basically, a dozen people are hunted by rich white people, essentially, for the most part. And as the story progresses, shocker, one of them fights back. Typical deathmatch kind of movie.
Yeah.
Typical. There've been millions of them.
Oh yeah.
And this well before the shootings happened, they did a screen testing. It didn't go because there were overtones that were used, like deplorables in the elites.
Sound familiar?
To refer to the anti-choice, gun-loving characters that are being hunted by the rich people, and they were trying to kill them. So much hatred come up out of this is that the creative team of the movie supposedly has been receiving death threats through email and social media. Now, I don't care what side you come on, gun control, or crazy people, whatever. You shouldn't send death threats. That's just ridiculous. But this is what our president has brought this country to.
And he condemned it too.
He condemned it. He didn't even know what the movie was about. He condemned it.
Yeah.
So that's a typical part.
Yeah, exactly.
But even he condemned it, which kind of goes back to everything he said before.
Well, it doesn't matter. That's every day.
Yeah. So, but with all this craziness, the movie only cost $18 million to make, which is putrid.
Nowadays,
like $18 million is nothing.
That's essentially independent film now. It's crazy.
Maybe I kind of film because it's Jesus, So it was so little money. Universal wasn't too worried about the political overtones, so they kind of left it alone. They trusted the people in charge, blah, blah, blah. Well, didn't happen. So what happened was they used the movies, the shootings, as a way out of this. There was so many issues politically. The way it was coming across, the people that reviewed the movie were disgusted apparently by the overtones, and so they used the shooting as a way to get out of it. So when you hear that Universal was cool and they stopped the movie, they only stopped it because people that saw it didn't care.
Yeah.
That's everybody stopped it. It's all about money.
Well, and I wonder too where they screened it and the people were upset. I mean, were they fucking down in Texas and fucking gun country? You know what I mean? Like, because you know, if I go to a movie, you know, and I saw Deplorables and Elites, I wouldn't think anything of it. And then again, probably wouldn't think of it if they, you know, talk shit about me being working class. You know, but I don't know. You know what I mean? So I wonder. Just my question is, I wonder where these people were from.
Right.
You know, did you go down into the middle of red country and fucking try to show them, and you know, you're making fun of everything they believe in?
Right.
You know, I don't know. Just a thought.
Yeah. It's just ridiculous.
It's too bad because I was interested in the movie. Like I would have, you know, not maybe it's not in the theaters, but
See you,
you know.
Chris. Thank you for coming on.
Hey, see you, Chris. Thanks.
Chris also says that there's an Obi-Wan TV show coming. Yes.
Nice.
And what's his face might be playing it.
Oh yeah, him.
Yeah, what's his face? Raymond Luxury Lad says, "Let's carpet bag the South."
I'm down.
Yeah, Raymond. Tom's all over that. Oh, Raymond says Tom knows what's good. So, back to the show. Doc Fetus is finally getting out of the movie theaters, and it's become the worst X-Men movie ever financially. Now, my question for you, Tom: will you actually watch this movie?
I will. Probably when we decide to review it.
Same here.
Yeah.
You know, we have to review it because
Yeah, I mean, we got it. I mean,
this should be a tough one too because we hear so much how horrible it is. It's easy to me. It's easier to like a movie when you're not expecting anything from it.
yes.
So, like me myself, I'm gonna have to go into it the opposite way. You know, like expecting a good movie because we should expect a good movie. You know, we should get what we get. You know, are you guys out there gonna watch the movie? Do you guys want to watch the movie? And have you seen it? And if you have, what do you think? Because I think it sucked. But I'll watch it.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
I'll watch it. And I don't care how bad it is, I'll watch it because next to Spider-Man, the X-Men are my favorite comic book characters ever.
Yeah.
No question. And a quick side note, for all you Krypton fans from sci-fi, it got canceled.
That sucks.
And they canceled the Lobo spin-off also, which hasn't even happened yet. They've already canceled it. So both shows are canceled, and it's because season 2 apparently showed a 50% drop-off from Krypton. What? That's a lot of people.
Yeah, that's a ton.
Like, what the hell is going on? I want to watch the show just because of that now. To find out what they were doing in season 2 that made 50% drop off. That's like record numbers.
That's insane.
That's like totally ridiculous.
Insane.
Now people are hoping that they can bring it back on streaming services. And come out of it for a moment. So I'm going to keep going on. Streaming services are picking up the show they're hoping. And if that happens, the show can live on. There are people that have already started campaigns to save the show. So some people are also hoping that Time Warner Media's, which has the upcoming HBO Max app coming out, which is another streaming service, and it will actually also include the DC Universe in it, which DC Universe on its own didn't seem like a horrible price, but when you add HBO Max, now we're talking. Rumors are it might be around the price of Netflix. If that's the case, that's not very bad. But what if it is around the price of Netflix? Wouldn't that kind of affect Netflix? Think about it. If Netflix starts getting competition from other people, what happened to Netflix? Could Netflix really have some problems?
And I'm back. Sorry about
One more bit of news. The Haunted Hill House
Oh yeah.
director's cut's coming. Does anyone even care? Who buys DVDs anymore? Let alone Blu-rays. Anyone buy Blu-rays?
And I mean, yeah,
I love the movie.
I do.
I mean, the series.
It's great, but yeah, I don't.
I'm not gonna buy it.
No, I mean, I am but DVDs and God a long time, and then Blu-ray. Yeah, my Xbox is a Blu-ray player. You know what I mean? But I haven't bought. I don't own a Blu-ray.
Well, if you buy the digital copy online, like through a streaming service like Amazon or whatever, you can get that cut anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I just.
It's not. Well, I guess. I don't know. Is it really still considered Blu-ray online?
I don't know.
I would go out buy DVDs. No way.
No, I wouldn't. I never bought a Blu-ray in my life. I think I bought one as a gift for somebody.
My
but
audio was so bad that when you left, that Raymond Luttridge glass said, "Roy Steele becomes Mike." While he's gone.
Really?
Okay. Now, well, I'll stop talking so Tom can jump in and give his speech and little conversation about the conventions he went to.
Yeah, and please jump in at any point. Anybody out there, Roy too. So, last week I went to Terrificon at Mohegan Sun in Uncasville, Connecticut. I believe, I'm not 100% sure on this, but I believe it used to be called Comic-Con, CONN, short for Connecticut. It was like their Rhode Island, their San Diego. And I had read something, I don't know if there was lawsuits or something, but that doesn't exist anymore. And I believe that was at Foxwoods, which is about a 10-minute drive. That's another casino. There's Mohegan Sun and Foxwoods near us. And they're like 10 minutes apart over the border in Connecticut. And yeah, so I believe that went out with the Comic-Con or whoever owned it. And then it became Terrificon and moved over to Mohegan Sun. And I've gone the last 2 years now. And it's grown exponentially in these years. It was a great show. It was a very, very fun show. Very good if you're a collector, like collectibles and stuff. It's that type of show. And if you're a collector, and if you're a fan of comics and comic writers and comic actors, comic book. I don't mean comedy. Comic book writers, comic book artists. I think I said actors, but artists. It's that ton of writers, artists get super cheap. Sometimes I just learned this. Apparently, especially with these new writers, it's if you go and get a comic book signed by them, there's this thing called, and I didn't know this, and I'm a comic book guy, but I'm not a big autograph guy. It's called First One's on Me. So the first time you go to get an autograph off them, it's free. It's absolutely free because you bought their comic book. So that's my two buddies, Chris, who was chatting, and my other buddy. I won't say his name, but yeah, they were explaining it to me because I was like, I don't get this. What do you mean it's free? First One's on Me. I don't understand that. And it's because you supported them by buying their comic. That the first thing that you get signed by them is on them. So, and so I thought that was cool. So yeah, it was a great con for those types of things. Not really if you're there to for autograph. I mean, aside from if you're there for like famous actors and stuff and Hollywood people, probably not the con for you. They had Val Kilmer. Boy, is he aged.
Yes, he has.
Boy, is he aged. He was probably the biggest name. Then two guys that I like. Actually, a friend of mine is a director out in Hollywood. He was the art. He had a theater company. He was the artistic director, founder of a theater company in Chicago. And then when I moved out there, I did a play for him, and then he asked me to become part of his troupe. So I was for quite a few years with him. Good friend of mine. And then he moved out to. I moved away for personal reasons, and he moved out to Hollywood with his girlfriend, and he's been making, lower budget Hollywood films, and he does horror, like lower, and it's great. And he's worked with both Tony Todd and Derek Mears, and both Tony Todd and Derek Mears were at Terrificon. So I thought that was cool. But those were the biggest names, and then some guys from like back in the day, older actors and stuff. I didn't really recognize too many of them. So it's not really for that. But if you're going there for collectibles, comic books or pops or whatever you're into, statues or something, great con. And I also, and I'm going to jump back to Terrificon, but yesterday I went to Fan Expo Boston because I love cons, we all do, and we work it. And I came by Roy's afterwards. This is who we could talk about it for the show and everything. And so Fan Expo Boston is down at the Boston Convention Center, and never been. I've been excited. I wanted to go last year, but
I've worked for them 1 year.
Go for it. If you want to say anything, please.
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, it was a very good con to volunteer for. Not a lot of celebrities. When in my year there were like 12 celebrities. I like how they set stuff up. Like each department had their own shirts. The celebrities, the volunteers for celebrities had their own shirts. The ticket takers had their own shirts. The line people had their own shirts. It was nice, so you knew who you were talking to. So that was kind of cool. And but ironically, that was the year that I had a guy come up to me. He was being a dick. Excuse my French. And I was standing there. He's like, he tells me he couldn't get in line to see a comic book guy because the lines were too long. And that was his complaint. I said, well, who was it? And I can't remember who it was, but it was a real popular guy. I was like, well, he's real popular. You can't expect. He goes, well, they should have shortened the lines. He just was looking for an argument.
Yeah.
And he had heard that Fan Expo was buying Boston Comic Con. And he said to me, you wait, next year this place is going to turn around. It's going to be huge. So what happened? We have Rhode Island Comic Con. They're a really good con. He just stormed off. So then they get bought out. We heard later they did get bought out. And then Tom went to the story from there because we talked earlier. There's some correlation there.
Yes.
You went when I volunteered.
Yes, I'm glad you jumped in because it made me reminded me of some stuff. But yeah, so Fan Expo Boston had been super excited. I wanted to go last year, and I was on vacation. It was my week of vacation, and obviously I wasn't going to postpone a trip to go to a con. But I've been wanting to go for quite a few years, and so I was on vacation this week, and I was in town. I was back in town from where I had been. So I was like, I'm going to go on Friday because I heard Fridays aren't crowded. And sometimes I don't deal well with crowds and stuff. So it all depends. Some days I have good days. Some days I don't. So, but I thought Friday, okay, it won't be too crowded. Great. So I go there and went smooth. I mean, I got there early just for parking and stuff like that. And I had to wait like an hour, but it wasn't in line. I got to sit down and kind of talk to people, mess around on my phone. And then this is kind of cool. Like where I was sitting was sort of the front of the line, even though I should have been at the back. So I just stood up with a bunch of nerdy dudes like myself and pretend I was part of their group. And I was one of the first people in the door. That wasn't VIP. I cut 1,000 people. It wasn't my intent. Obviously, if they said go to the back, I would have. I wasn't trying. It just happened to be where it was. But yeah, so I went into Boston Comic Con, and Rhode Island's huge. I mean, last year we did, I think, just under 100,000 people or something. I know this year the goal is like 105, 110, or something ridiculous that shouldn't be a goal, in my opinion, because at some point the levee breaks, But I guess right off the bat, I'm gonna say I wasn't that impressed. And the layout was fine. Like Roy said, and now that he said it, and that's why I'm glad he jumped in. To me, and this is just an outsider, it seemed like it was run very well. You didn't have, and Roy can attest to this, you didn't have the black shirts, the blue shirt, or anybody running around like their head was going to fall off and there's a fire, and you know when everybody gets in that panic, usually on Saturday at Rhode Island, and you run around and the sky's falling and everything, and everybody's giving everybody attitude and all this stuff. It wasn't like that, and it could have been because it wasn't too crowded last night. Supposedly Friday's their slowest night, but it did seem very, very organized. And I will say the shirts that I did notice on volunteers were very cool. They're volunteer shirts. So in that aspect, I guess it was a little better than Rhode Island as far as streamlined and how it was running. But then again, like I said, it wasn't that crowded. So the real test would be Saturday at like noontime to see how that runs. But yeah, so interesting little con. Like Roy had said, when he volunteered, there was 12 celebrities.
Wow.
There was probably
good celebrities, but there were 12.
Yeah, and I have no problem with that. 12 celebrities is fine with me. I'm not a big autograph guy. You know that. Roy's not a big autograph guy either. We're kind of those guys that if you want to give it to us for free, we'll take it. But we don't really.
I like the personal stories you get.
Yeah, me too.
Like the interactions.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
The people I've met, I've actually become friendly with one of the celebrities. He's not a huge celebrity, but he's a celebrity. And we've become friendly. And it's because he came up to him one day at the convention, was like, "Hey, can you tell me what the is?" Like, "Yeah, sure, right away, whatever." He leaves, and I see him, I say hi to him, whatever. And then suddenly he comes over, he goes, "What's your name?" He goes, "You are awesome to me. I'm gonna follow you on Twitter."
Nice.
And then we talk about it on Twitter, and
that's awesome.
And then every year he comes, we always talk, and it's the personal stuff to me is more fun.
And I was the same way. Like when another guy that I work with, that I worked with, came back last year. I worked with him like 3 years ago. Then he took a year off because he was doing a bunch of films, and then he came back, and then just going back into that conversation, hey man, how's it, being like buddies that hadn't seen each other. I'm the same way. Interpersonal connection is way cooler to me than somebody's signature on a thing. And it's like, do you want my signature? I mean, I'll tell you mine, Roy, right now. $10.
I was with can't think of her name. Beautiful actress. And she was like the coolest person I've ever met. And we were just hanging out, having fun. And she was really cool with the fans, and she pull me into it too. And one of the guys she volunteered last year for security comes up to me last year. You don't remember me, but a couple of years ago, you were with, I can't think who it was. And I was like, I asked for your autograph because he asked me for my autograph. He was doing you are bleeping amazing. I want your autograph.
That's awesome, dude.
$2 yours. He goes, I'll be 10,
That's awesome.
He's like, no, I'm serious. I want your autograph. He had me sign something.
That's awesome.
Like, yeah, man, you're a hot shit. You gotta make me want to volunteer because I don't dude, volunteer.
Yeah.
You get to meet a lot of people, a lot of cool people. He goes, maybe I will. One year of the years, maybe I will. And he did last year. He volunteered last year, and we talked about it. It was pretty awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah, I always tell people like when I'm sitting with my celebrity or out there like walking the line, of people and making sure it's all good and everything, and you inevitably stop and chat with people as you're going through it, and they always ask questions. And I'm just like, just volunteer. Volunteer. It's great. It's so much fun. You get to meet a bunch of great people, and you get it for free. And and it is. So, but yeah, so when Roy did it was 12. I would say now, as far as celebrities, there was no more than 30, and I think that's too high. Maybe 25 celebrities. As far as like Hollywood celebrities. which I'm still fine with. Like I said, I'm not a big autograph guy, and I prefer cons, like I was saying, like Terrificon being about the collectible. I like the idea of, if I'm not working a con, I like the idea of being able to go to a con and being able to get a comic book, a Funko Pop, a statue that I can't find anywhere, or it's just way too much money, or I have to have it shipped from China, or whatever it is. I love the idea of going and finding hard to find stuff at the con, buying it in person. So that's just me. That's how what I like about cons. So so Boston, they had about 25 celebrities. John Travolta, he wasn't there. I think he was Saturday, Sunday only. Todd McFarlane, which I wish I would have brought that, because I bought one of his.
Awesome.
Todd McFarlane, creator of Spawn, he's there at Sunday only. I bought one of his, because right now he has Spawn Kills Everything 2. He did Spawn, then it was Spawn Kills Everything, and just killing all these characters. Now it's Spawn Kills Everything 2. And he released these really cool figures. They're, bigger than a pop or whatever. They're called Spawn Turd Babies, and they're like limited edition. So I grabbed one. I wish I would have brought it to show you guys. But yeah, so John Travolta, Todd McFarlane, and Rose McIver from iZombie. Probably some of the bigger names. All the people from like pretty much the whole cast, aside maybe the parents, from Boy Meets World, like Corey Topanga, the brother, the principal there, Mr. Feeney. They were all going to be there. And then a few other people randomly here and there. So, and then they had a good section of cosplayers with tables that you could go and, you take pictures with, pay for the, because they're professional cosplayers. They had a good section of that. And then they had the really good, which I think Roy was talking about, sort of the writer artist alley type section, which was huge, or not huge, but very big. So they had all that. So you had a good selection of everything. And then obviously they had their vendors with their collectibles. And then there was a big area for food that was crazy big for the amount of people that was there. It was like just a big open space.
How do you get any food at all?
Yeah, no, it was crazy.
I'm going to cut you off. The Wild Bill soda there?
Yes, they did. Oh, and I'm glad you brought it up.
One?
No, you know why? I didn't. I knew I was only going to be there a few. I was only there from 4 to 7.
But the cool.
I know, and I still have mine.
I'm so excited. I want one.
I still have mine, and I still have.
I should give you money. How you get me one?
Oh yeah, totally.
You can have the soda. I can have the cup.
But yeah, it was because I still have my token from at the end of Rhode Island last year. I didn't use it at the next couple of times you go to. I'm
Friday night. We're going to go before we leave.
Oh yeah, hell yeah! I'll be getting that Rhode. It was just I was by myself, and I was only at the con for 3 hours.
Yeah, I couldn't go with them. One, I just bought a car, and two, I was going to puppy.
Mm-hmm.
So I was really like, I can't go.
Yeah.
I'm going to be around this weekend. Next year, we are hoping. I'm going to cut you off again.
No, please do.
We are hoping next year to go to these events, some of them as press, and to be able to interview or even not interview, talk to some people, talk to some fans. That would be really awesome.
Yeah.
And show us on the show.
And I took some pictures at both cons that will be on our website once our website
get this damn thing
up and running. I mean, no, I'm not even going to give you
websites. Contact us.
Yeah, I'm not even going to give you an ETA, but it is being worked on our website.
Almost done.
Yeah.
Actually. I mean, we're not doing anything crazy. It's going to be, news, events, pictures, photos, videos, definitely gaming videos.
Yes, so
it's going to be a fun site, I think.
Yeah, it'll be a great site. So, and we'll keep you posted. Don't worry, and we'll plaster it all over our social media.
If you're worried, comment below and keep reminding us.
Yes, please. More comments, the better. But yeah, so they had a big open area of food where they had, you got pizza, burgers, Mexican, stuff in a wok, like beef teriyaki and a wok and stuff. I mean, still fast foodish and super expensive. I bought a hot dog and a water cost me $11. And the bun was essentially inedible on the hot dog. It was I basically paid $11 for a piece of tube steak and some water. So, but yeah, and then they had areas. They had a big area for tabletop gaming, RPG tabletop gaming, and stuff, which I'm not into, but I'm a big advocate of. I think it's very cool. So. There was that, and there was a couple of big vendors, like FYE was there, and it was funny. I was going to buy something from them, and I forgot and walked out, and now I'm regretting it because it was super good price. But yeah, so that was, and then upstairs, separate, like most cons, up in like these conference rooms in the convention center is where they did their panels, and they did for whatever show or whatever type of anime panel and stuff. But yeah, so that was it. And then you had your vendors, obviously. And that was, I think, the biggest disappointment for me was the vendor. Like if you're looking for comics, and right now I'm not super into like I love reading comics. I do. I love reading comic books, but I don't buy comics really just to collect them. Yes, I have a collection of comics that I love and everything, but it's all stuff that I bought because I read it, and a lot of these guys, it's golden age, silver age, bronze age, which is great and great for a collector. I am no way saying they shouldn't be there, because they should be there. That's what a Comic-Con is about. It's just not my thing. Like currently, in even Funko, I'm very picky right now because it's like I'm selling a lot of my collection. It's just like horror and something cool, like I said, the Tony Montana and the Travis Bickle. I grabbed those, two of my favorite movies. But I'm pretty much selling a lot, and that was the problem. So I'm into like the Funko and in figures like Funko. Like I told you, I got the Turd Baby. I got a Tiny Ghost, the Nerdy Tiny Ghost by Bim Toy. I think those are really cool, and I'm into the Ron English figures that he does that mock. They're the cereal monster figures that mock like cereal. Like I have Frankenfat, which is supposed to be like the cereal there, or whatever, Frankenberry, and I have Trix, but it's spelled CKS, the obese bunny. It's another figure, and just makes fun of him, and it's a fat Trix bunny. But so that's what I'm kind of into collecting right now, and the selection wasn't great personally, and I think that turned me off. And then the few places that did have good fun, I mean, yes, I found my Kangen Kodos there, which is cool. Like I was saying, one of my favorite pops of this year. But most of the people that were selling pops were like super overpriced if they had a good selection. Either they didn't have a great selection, which, okay, I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to buy something to buy it, or they had a good selection, but they were like this one guy, I was telling Roy last night, there's one vendor, they, if you're collect pops, you can, there's two sites to check your value. You get your Funko app, or you have Pop's Price Guide. Pop's Price Guide is a little bit better than Funko app, in my opinion. And then the third way, and honestly, the best way to ever figure out the value of your pop is go on to eBay sold, and you look at the last 5, you go to your product and look at the last 5 transactions, and then you take the average of that, and that's pretty much what something's worth. But this guy was $70 to $90 over value on every single good pop there. I was like, I'm looking at it, and it was funny because the lady walked up, and there was like a younger guy and girl. They were looking at him, and she's talking to them, and she can see me like picking up pops and going like, just disgusted. And she's talking to them, and then they walked away, and she looked over at me, and she's seen me do this, and she didn't even dare say a word to me, because she knew that I was just like, you're trying to fucking scam people right now. You know what I mean? Trying to get an extra $100 out of these kids for a freaking pop. You know what I mean? And she didn't even say anything, because I was just like, this is outrageous.
I just bought a $50 box a few weeks ago.
The Jaws.
Yeah.
See,
But Jaws.
yeah, it's Jaws.
It's a scene, basically, you know.
It's a scene. It's a bigger pop, so you
It's
can
a
justify.
collectible too, pretty much. Wasn't it like a convention?
Yeah, and it's a convention exclusive.
Exclusive or something?
Yeah, it's a convention. It was San Diego Comic Con shared with Entertainment Earth.
It was the first pot I've ever bought that was new. It's my first pot that hasn't been out for a while. Because everything I've collected, for the most part, has been out for a while. Because I want all the older horror stuff. And,
Yeah. That's how I.
I am getting they have the sports stuff coming out. They have new hockey players coming out, new baseball players coming out. They have the hockey mascots and the mascots. I'm getting the brewer. I'm getting the brewer.
They have
bad brewers, baby.
They got college football mascots coming out soon.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a couple of those too. I'm gonna be on. I have a podcast on college football.
Oh, really?
I'm doing it. But again, if I do another football podcast of that sort, I'm doing it myself.
Yeah.
If you don't know, I did a podcast last year called The Sports Perspective on the New England Patriots. It was fun. I really enjoyed it. I'd watch every game, and take notes for the games, and then Tuesday night, record my show and just put it out there. I didn't have to edit it because I get so good at just yapping.
Yeah, that's good.
It was just do it and throw it up there. But yeah, if it was ever a podcast, sports one, let me know.
Yes, it's Patriots country, so you got to be a Patriots fan up here. If not,
I do a national football, sports.
I'm just kidding. I like the bus ball.
I want to do sports, but for one person to cover, there's a lot of work. I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Then I'll do football. Well, that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, the Patriots. It's a lot of work, but it's not as much as the other stuff. So,
and the work, it's like you like the work, so it makes it a little more tolerable.
You follow the stuff.
Yeah, because like I said, we are in Patriots country, and we are, we've been on this 20-year run of just excellence here.
Too, like podcasts are getting respect now. There are people in podcasts that are soccer, but this guy's invited from Cincinnati. He's been invited to Florida for the Cincinnati's national team. To watch the players.
Nice.
He's invited to the games. They interview people after the game.
That's awesome.
Podcast is opening a lot of doors for people.
Yeah, well, it's not podcast there's not that stigma now of you're that fucking nerd sitting in your mom's basement, fucking twiddling away on your phone and computer and shit. It's not that anymore. I mean, everybody's doing a podcast now.
At this point, podcasting almost has more respect than YouTube.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because YouTube is tough.
Honestly, I get most of my news from podcasts now. I don't watch the news at work we do, because I work with a bunch of older guys that would honestly watch the Weather Channel fucking every night if they had the choice. I hate it. I make this one guy sit across from my buddy Pete, but he's like 65. He's still a good friend of mine, but he always wants the news, and when we're on lunch break or dinner break and the news and weather on, I'm just like, Pete, you old fuck. So, and I'm old, I'm an old guy. So
I watch the weather, but I don't do it like if I have a choice.
This would be on, like I said, this would be on all day, every day if it was up to the couple guys.
Well, you were here last night, so I take the 8 o'clock news. But I fast forward to watch the weather for the next day, because I want to like smoke some food. Someone's visiting.
Oh yeah, I don't. No, it makes sense to watch the news for weather and stuff. I'm just saying when you're watching it on loop, you know what I mean? It's
so hard. I hate the channel.
It's
old people channels.
Yes, and
to me, Channel 5 News is old people channel. Yeah. And the Weather Channel is old people channel. To me.
That's I'm saying.
What I mean is it seems boring. It's not like hip. Even saying the word hip's kind of boring. It's not like. It's like I watch Fox or like it's Channel 7, but Channel 7 doesn't have an affiliation no more. I don't know if you heard about that. Channel 7 nationally is gone.
Okay.
So in Massachusetts we have Channel 7, but it's not CBS. It's his own channel now.
And just to clarify, he didn't mean Fox News.
Yes, no, God, no.
No, because that's not news.
I wouldn't watch Fox News. Well, if you paid me, I'd watch it, but
it's not news.
You have to pay me a lot of money.
we have a boss that every time we go, because like when we leave the break room, he'll take his breaks, which makes sense. Your boss take a separate time, and every time we come back into the break room, it's on Fox News. And one guy busted balls was just like, "You're rotting your brain," and I just want to flip out and be like, "It's not fucking news. It's not. It's not news. It is not news. It is it's news when it's convenient."
Yeah.
But I kid you not, I heard Sean Hannity. One guy called in one time and was talking to him and being like, "You're spouting all this stuff and talking about this news, and it's not." And he's like, "I never said I was a news anchor. I'm an entertainer." Okay, but 10 minutes ago, you were just telling me how Obama was going to be king in 2016 and reporting that as fact. But now all of a sudden you get called out and you're just an entertainer. Get the fuck out of here. Sorry, we got off on a tangent. I should finish up my Boston before. Yeah, I was just wrapping it up. So Boston is what it is. I wasn't super impressed because of the vendors and stuff. I liked it. Like I said, there was a lot of things I liked about it, but like the layout, stuff like that. But Terrificon versus Fan Expo Boston, Terrificon was, in my opinion, 80 times better just for what I prefer. But then don't, if you want to go check out a con or something, don't just take my word on it. Go check it out. You know what I mean? I'm not telling you not to go. It just wasn't my cup of tea. I personally like Terrificon better, but honestly, I think Rhode Island's better than both of them. Rhode Island,
the biggest in the country now.
Yeah, it's hectic. Don't get me wrong, it's hectic, and it's on a Saturday. I mean, like I said, yeah, and or if you have your 3-day pass, like I said, some days I'm okay with crowds, some days my anxiety gets high and I'm not. So Saturdays can be tough for me there. Luckily we work it, so it's like I can sneak off and stuff. But yeah, if I had to choose, I would choose Rhode Island. I think for what I like, it's best. But if you like to go to cons or smaller cons or get out and stuff, they're both fun. If you had to choose between one or the other, personally, I would go to Terrificon. That's just me. But that's it. So yeah, that's all I got to say on those. I mean, anything you wanted to add on either Boston or Terrificon, or
no?
Yes, and just real quick,
people or better people.
And just real quick on Rhode Island, because I do give you an update on Rhode Island every time we do the big show here. Patrick Warburton, who Rules of Engagement, he was the Tick in the 1990s. He has been announced. So is Peter Serafinowicz. I cannot say his name. He was the voice of Darth Maul, and he was the Tick in the newest iteration on Amazon. He's going to be there. And Griffin Newman, who played Arthur on the newest iteration on Amazon, is going to be there. And you get a group photo with all three, which I think is really cool. I won't be doing they haven't put a price yet, so I don't know. And I won't be doing that, but I will be getting both the Ticks, the guys that played the Ticks, autographs personally. And just a couple other people. Donald Logue from Gotham will be there, which is cool. I love Gotham. Dayton Matarazzo, Dustin from Stranger Things. He's going to be there. There's a lot of Stranger Things, but I know he's one of the ones that a lot of people. He's one of the favorites. And Matthew Modine will be there as well. And there'll be group photos for all those guys. Keeping it real light today, this week on the Rhode Island stuff. It was just I happened to see that these people were all added and want to let you know. And that's November 1st to the 3rd. Definitely check that one out. Come see me and Roy over there. It's great con. Yes, great con. So that's all I had.
Yeah. All right. I think that's good for the show.
I do too.
All right. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching our show today. For Tom and myself, everybody, you have a geeky, great Saturday night. Go Patriots!
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.